Should be all right.
Hey guys, we are live from Blade Show in Atlanta, Blade Show 2019, and we have a special guest with us right now. It is Joe Caswell, representing CRKT and what I call the best knife of the year, the
sure.
Provoke.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So-
It's great to be here.
How do you like the show so far? Have you got in there yet?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Seen anything cool?
Oh, there's always something cool. There's people doing some great work here.
I love political answers. It's my favorite part.
No, it's true. I mean, it's totally true. I don't have to lie. It's true.
No, Joe's talking to us about his beginnings and different things that he was into before we started rolling the tape. But I want to jump right into this because our viewers love it. The SMKW Army loves this knife. I sit there like it's a fidget spinner and can't stop doing it once I have it. I actually have one of these. I love it. Tell us about this knife.
Well, what, the origins or
Anything you want. Go for it.
well, this knife I started. This project covered a number of years actually.
Right.
I mean, because you don't just wake up one morning and design that. When you don't see it,
You mean it wasn't like a flux capacitor moment? You didn't fall off
No.
the stool?
Exactly.
No,
right.
I was shooting with a lot of these cops and operators and stuff in California. On the base, we're doing this stuff. And I noticed a lot of these guys are carrying Karambits at the time.
Yeah.
This is maybe 3-4 years ago. And I would ask them, as a knife maker, what do you like about the Karambit as a style?
Sure.
And more importantly, what do you not like?
Yeah.
And there were, they listed out the various uses that they have for them. But some of the more important things were the limitations, like how they deploy and how they get used in a practical situation. And the two big ones I heard over and over again was how they can come up with a knife that can be deployed non-bladed,
Right.
and then maybe offer the various uses you can in a
Sure.
non-bladed capacity, and then be able to switch without having to let go of the knife and open it, take a support hand off of whatever's happening, and open it. That was like one thing floating around in my head. The other one had to do with the locks.
Right.
Usually the lock. The knives fold this way,
Right.
And they're liner locks and this sort of thing, and you're you're on top of a lock, and the blade does kind of cross that axis where your fingers are,
Right.
So that limitation is one that they were interested in solving. So those are the two big things going into this, and then how to address those was the question. It took a long time. I mean,
Right.
I would work on something, I'd set it aside, work on something else, and it would come back and forth over the course of a number of years, and eventually it reached a point where I started, going hard on it. And I have to say, though, the first versions that I had, I would take over to those guys, and gear guys,
Yeah.
cops in
Right.
particular. There's no sparing of feelings, so you have to worry.
Oh, yeah.
If something and gear guys, they generally like what they know.
Well, Joe, that sucks. Do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
But you kind of think. So I'm wondering, oh, geez, I showed them this thing, and the clip too. That's the other
Right.
thing. That I didn't know how they were going to receive the clip,
Right.
and this sort of thing. And I was showing them, and they were like, "This thing's awesome. This is our new platform." So I was, I was happy and relieved about that. But really, it was a response to their desires and needs anyway.
Sure.
So I did have a leg up on that.
So how do you get to what they're calling, I don't know if you named it or CRKT named it, the kinematic technology? How does this hinged system happen in your head? Was it a long process?
It was. It was.
That was
Because
the
to me
flux
it looks like,
capacitor moment.
I mean, I've done design work for 15 years, and I look at it and go, okay, that's just a nightmare to figure out exactly how that folds out and locks
Right.
straight and folds back and stays right.
Yeah, if I showed you some of the stuff that I started with, it's almost comical because no. Well, one of the things once I had the idea, I knew that the basic idea would work, and of course the big thing is to have it not spiral out of control and complexity.
Sure.
And
Right.
this is
Because
5.
you've got to manufacture it at some point.
Well, exactly, and me in particular, because I always assume doing these things, I'm going to be down there in my shop pounding out a few of these things, and I don't want to hurt myself
Right.
with this. And
Right.
so this thing's like 5 parts, 5 principal parts, plus
Right.
the fasteners and the clip, and they're robust parts. I don't like little parts.
No,
don't
I mean,
dainty
like when
little
you look
parts.
at this right here, you can just see how thick that blade is, and the handle feels great.
Well, and a lot of that too has to do with the fact that it's used as a non-bladed tool.
Right.
You have support.
Right.
It's not poking you. It's not doing weird stuff. But the let's see. Oh, so there was one point I do recall where I was going to build this fixture with pins. Where I could put pins and move things around and try to locate how this thing was going to work.
Sure, because you got to figure out where those moving points are.
Yeah, and this is an example of where you sort of devolve from complexity to more simplicity. I ended up, I had these visions of getting the machine. I was going to design this thing. I actually started on a CAD. This thing's out of control. So I just ran down, got some popsicles, actually tongue depressors,
Right.
and a popsicle stick, and just drilled the heck out of it. And then just sort of random everywhere holes,
Sure.
and then and a couple pivot points, and then just kind of move things around, kind of get it in the ballpark, then sort of figure out kind of where we're at, do another one. And I actually have like a couple, a very, very proto thing in popsicle sticks.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
So we gotta make this story better next time you tell it, right? Here's how it's gonna work.
Yes.
You were hot on a summer day, trying to figure this out. You got a box of popsicles.
You were eating your
You were
way.
eating your way to the kinematic
24
technology.
popsicles. Yes.
That's right. Oh, Shazam.
It's like, I thought it was going to be a cold thing, but no, it's an idea.
That's right.
This thing is amazing, though. The action is what I think is really, really cool, in that it is literally just one push and it's fully open.
Well, and we were talking
And
about
it's not
right
even a
before we
hard
started,
push. I mean, you just go and it goes.
It's so intuitive.
Right.
You
So,
know
Mark, I'm going to hold it
exactly
over here so you can look at it.
when you're using the Provoke, you know exactly what you're going to do. You know, oh, well, this clearly I have to press here and it's open.
Did you ever see the first version?
I did not,
I had
no.
a version 1 prototype. Initially, the very first version I had, it didn't actuate this way. It actually had the arms were there, but it sort of squeezed open. There was another part
Really?
that hinged. It was actually kind of cool from an engineering perspective. There was a part here that was really an external lock, and it hinged from here. And what would happen is you kind of squeeze down from here just like this, and the whole thing sort of squirt out like toothpaste. You just kind of. That was the initial
cool
because
was that?
I didn't realize until I was finalizing those prototypes before going to the USN show 3 years ago, I guess it was. I mean, I was putting that thing together, and while I was fitting stuff for that one, running late as usual, I didn't have that part in place, and it occurred to me that you don't even need that other thing because this is actually more intuitive than the squeeze thing.
Right.
And that's one less part, but one less complicated part.
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
and it also changed the way it locked up. So it was really back to the drawing board before I ever actually showed version 1. And
what I know about showing this to people and playing with it at the store all the time is that people get it on the opening. It's closing it at the first time. They're like, wait. How did you do it? Show me again.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
It's basically just a depression lock. If you flip it to them and show them where they're going to push.
Yeah, so a lot of people want to push a button here.
Yes.
And it's not. It goes up.
Yeah. It's
so
a
it
slide,
pushes up
basically.
that way.
Yeah.
And so you can see how this little locking ring in there, it kind of moves like that.
And we were talking about the reasoning behind that because you don't want the lock to be
Too easy.
because it's like having a gun that's fast to reholster.
Exactly. Yeah, nobody's into speed reholstering, or they shouldn't be anyway. When I switched from the version 1 that I was talking about, how it was sort of more external, the way the lock worked,
Sure.
to this one, one of the big things was coming up with a system that was not too easy.
Sure.
It needs to be simple.
Oh,
but,
of course.
but a lock that's easy to unlock is, on the other hand, easy to unlock.
Yes.
And that's not desirable if you're actually going to use the thing in a robust way. So
sure.
there are guys, though, like I was saying, telling you earlier, that kind of surprised me. They have such dexterity that when they practice the thing, they can do this thing. They'll come out and they'll do some little thing, I don't know what it is, and do a little flick back, and it's back, and it's like magic.
They have an extra little baby finger in the hand.
I guess.
It just comes out and moves the lock.
It's super impressive, but
You know what I like? You were talking about this before. Is that if you don't have to deploy it as a knife. So if you're a cop or whatever, or even a bouncer at that point,
Sure.
right? We've had this demonstrated here of all places by certain people using this either as a knuckle or a pressure point. Just having that extra bit of steel that is not a blade.
Right.
It
It's
becomes
a controlling
non-lethal.
tool. Right.
There's no
Non-lethal.
damage, and you're still doing the job you need to do.
and it's versatile. See, some of the cops I was mentioning that they were doing they were training away from deploying from the pocket and doing that particular group
Sure.
because of they were just omitting that entire functionality of having a device that may have implications aside from a bladed tool. They were just here training that they would come out, open it immediately, and just have it beginning because they didn't want to find themselves in a position where they would need it and then have to switch.
Yeah.
And and that was a shame. That was
Right.
I was thinking, well, that kind of eliminates a good chunk of the usefulness.
Of course.
So it's that again was some of the stuff we were looking at.
Well, like you said, any other folding caramel that you see, and I've got a couple, they all fold from the inside. So to do anything with that past that ring,
Yep.
you've got to change.
Yeah,
You've
and-
got to open. You've got to do something.
You got to make way for that blade.
Yeah.
And
So tell us what it's like to work with CRKT.
CRKT's been great. I mean, they really have. And
they're good to us every time we go.
Yeah, we
no,
love them.
they were great. In fact, that had a lot to do. I mean, I anguished long and hard when I had this particular thing.
Oh, sure.
And there were options, and I anguished long and hard. My friend Ken Onion, I guess you have coming up soon.
Yes.
Cross
your fingers.
He's been all over the place, and he was very gracious with his time as I was going, oh, what do I do? What do I do? But their business trajectory of that company, the direction they're going, the people, they're the white hat guys. I mean, they're good guys. The development of this has been for production has been really good. I mean, they have made all the right choices when it comes to how things are made. I mean, they wanted it to come in at a lower price point,
right?
And they tried the different stuff. Oh, we could cast this part, we could name this part, but it wasn't getting quality that we needed, and it wasn't getting the action, and they respected that aspect. They could have moved around and just said, well, just screw it, it's good enough.
Right.
But they didn't. I wasn't happy. They weren't happy. They continued to do it essentially the most expensive way you can do it, which is how we're building the millet knife, essentially machining all the parts.
Sure.
So I
I tried to tell somebody that one time, and that's where the price point lies. It's D2, right?
It's D2.
D2, and that's like basically over close to a quarter of an inch.
It's very close.
Yes.
And it's all machined down from there. And there's a lot of machining, like the machining out of his pocket. They could have omitted that. They could have stamped it through. They machined it. The frame is machined from block.
Right.
It's not from a casting.
But that's how you get the precise nature.
It is, and especially with the arms. There were different things that tried with the arms that just weren't working. And so what they ended up doing, which I discovered at SHOT Show, is they're extruding. They're making these extrusions that are kind of shaped basically like that, and then they cut it up like bread, and then they machine it solidly from there, which is about as good as you're going to get from just about anything. I mean, it's so they're getting the precision and they're getting the action. These things are fundamentally really, really strong, and I couldn't really be happier. I don't know of anybody else who could do it better, especially at the price point.
No, definitely not.
So here's my question: are we going to see this technology in other things? Are we going to see kinematic technology? He can't tell.
He's gone.
Don't look at Joel. Joel will tell you no.
He's gone.
He's gone.
No.
He felt the question coming.
We're working on stuff. We're definitely working on stuff. There are different avenues for this. And in fact, one of the reasons too that I was very excited to work with CRKT on this is the IP on this. I ended up assigning it to them. So I started the patent work on it, and I assigned it to them so that it would be available to their many other designers, such as Ken and others, if they want to play with it.
They've done that with deadbolt technology, and that's amazing.
Exactly.
It's just good stuff. They're good people to work with. But no, I since I saw this, I go, wonder what's next.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely some
awesome.
There's stuff in the works.
Always
Stuff in the works.
Nice. So, what else you got, Jason?
What's your favorite? Okay.
Yeah.
Past this, your favorite style, your favorite type of knife. What do you carry every day? Do you carry every day?
I actually don't carry it every day. I carry it most of the time.
Yeah.
See, look, he conveniently showed back up.
Yes.
That was convenient. We asked him if there was a future things coming out in this, and he looked up.
I did say, I don't know. Can I say something? I don't.
There might be.
That's when you need the pipe.
That's right.
Hey, if you couldn't hear that on here, Joel goes, there might be.
That's funny. No, there's all kinds of good stuff in the works, and like I said, I do look forward to when the other designers who are EDC, this style. People think, it needs to be EDC. It needs to be like a regular straight knife. It's like these things are really, they have a lot of utility and a lot of function. I mean, much more so than you'd think. I mean, you could, this shape is really, really handy for all kinds of stuff.
So I will tell you that I've used mine to, when you get a heavy package and it has the metal type straps. Since they're not metal, they're plastic. Heavy composite.
Yeah.
You can take that.
You can hook it under there.
Pop it under and just pop them.
Yep.
Or pop them this way.
Yeah.
So
and you can use it forward and do. I mean, it's like a carpet knife. I mean, those things are really, really practical.
I'm certainly a tactical Amazon box opener. So I mean, that's mainly what I use mine.
It's for those really, really.
It is.
It's for those carpets. It's a carpet knife for those really angry carpets.
Opening the big thing of Cheetos, it's like I gotta have this now.
Gotta have it now. Well, that was the thing I always tell people. Say, some people aren't knife people in particular that say, "Does anybody use something like that for?" Because they see a knife in this kind of configuration, they think, oh my gosh,
you're going to fight somebody.
They're useful.
And it's like, well, the reality is that this is opening the burritos in the lunchroom most of the time.
Yeah.
And but it does. They're practical reality. The other thing too, from like a tertiary defensive type situation, I have to say, having a Crombat, I mean, that's a fistful of mayhem if it's necessary.
Yes.
It definitely is.
I mean, you don't even need a high level of training.
Right.
It's just having that extra
And
level.
we had
It's
our
the idea
it's
behind
comforting. It's
any
great.
well-designed tool
Yeah.
that anyone should be able to use it with very minimal training.
Right. No, it's true.
we had Austin McGlon on before you today, and he designed the Clever Girl. And part of his mantra with that knife is it's an intimidation factor.
Yeah.
When I pop that knife or show that knife, then somebody knows.
You mean
this is
business.
just it's not to get ugly.
The knife tells you what to do with it.
Yes.
You know immediately what you're going to do with that knife.
Yes. Yes.
I just-
As does the person coming to it.
Well, the other thing
Sure
too,
they do.
and one of the reasons,
Or the Amazon box.
That's right.
it was mean Amazon.
Exactly.
It was an attitude.
Not the regular ones, the mean ones.
Yeah, the angry. One of the things too, I remember I saw her just a moment ago, early on in this project. I was curious. There's a trainer who trains police and various people on different things. This woman is an aficionado with Crombat in particular, and I spent a lot of time talking with her about various things. In fact, she was one of the only people to give me a real cogent answer about why there's a curve on, what the benefit of the curve is. Because my first version was straight, and she was ambivalent really about it being straight or curved, but she was able to articulate very good reasons why some people would like it and how it would play into their various training and how they use it. But one of the things I asked her I thought was really interesting was you're training cops.
Sure.
Cops generally aren't martial artists. Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Yeah.
But if you have a cop who wants this thing and he has his needs for it as a tertiary defensive weapon, like a retention weapon,
Right.
what do you teach a cop? How to be effective with this?
Sure.
And she showed me a couple things that were so easy and so simple and so intuitive and so effective. I mean, high levels of effectiveness.
Yeah.
That it was just. I mean, one of the easiest ones was this. I mean, I won't use the knife, but it's like you have your gun. You're protecting your gun. Right. And you're reaching out for my gun. Right. I mean, you got that thing.
I'm done with that
just
arm.
across this line and you're done.
Yeah,
It's over.
I'm totally done with that.
Now,
arm.
you didn't have to shoot him.
Right.
You didn't have to. No draw. I mean,
Wow. Yeah, I always assumed a Crombat was curved for the ripping ability of it. To be in and rip like you would gut an animal.
Oh, yeah.
But a straight could do it too, depending on what you're doing. But yeah, it's she had some interesting ideas about why that would be the case. But the other one was how to use it as a pressure thing.
Right.
She would show that. And, it's like, oh, here's your hand, and she would do. I don't even know what she did.
When
but
there
she
are
could do
people who could do that, and like I said, Jason and I both have had that done to us.
Yeah.
I actually led him back to the booth. The guy did it to me.
Yeah.
And when they do it right,
Oh.
I mean, you're like, no, I'm going your way. Whichever
Yeah,
way you want me to go,
wherever
I'm
you
going.
go,
It's like,
I'm
you just
fine
tell
with
me,
it.
I'll sit here.
You
It's
just,
fine.
You just whimper. All you do is
It
just,
really is.
Don't
They hit
hurt
you
me.
just in that exact right spot. And there's not even a ton of pressure.
No.
They're
No,
just hitting
doesn't
the
have to
exact
be.
right spot.
Yeah.
It's true.
So here's the cool thing that we're going to do. We are going to get Mr. Joe Caswell here to autograph this one with this silver Sharpie right here, and we're going to give it to you at home. We got to come up with a word, though, that they've got to reply in this video with. They're going to have to hashtag it Blade Show 2019, because that's just what it's on. What word do you want them to write for you?
Oh, that's it.
We didn't tell him we were going to do this today. We're going to put him on
He
the
was
spot.
on the spot.
Oh boy, I don't know. That's a
Let's
good one.
say that you need to write Mean Amazon Box.
There you go.
Blade Show
There you go.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So
Or
if
just
you
mean
wanna-
box.
Mean box.
Mean box.
Mean box.
Mean box. That's what we're gonna do. Wherever you want to sign it, there is your silver Sharpie. You can autograph the blade. You can pick it out. Whatever you want to do.
And my signature is notoriously illegible, so I might as well.
That's
He makes a very neat, clean tool, but he can't write. And
That
that's
is-
just what it is with Joe Cat.
It's true. Ever since the typewriter came out.
We all know our ages when we go
you go.
typewriter first,
Yeah,
right?
with a
Because
Sharpie
my
too.
daughter would have
Exactly
said
right.
keyboard straight away.
Sure.
There you go.
Wow.
Yep.
Wait, I gotta show this, Mark. Jump in here.
It's a Sharpie too, so that hurts.
It's a Sharpie. It's a fat pin.
But that's
we have
right.
trouble.
But that's about what it
We're
works.
going to
It's
give
like,
away this
imagine that
autograph
thinner.
version of this Provoke. This is one of the best knives of the year. I cannot tell you enough about this knife. If you just need your modern fidget spinner for your hand, this is the knife you want. If you want something that's effective as a tactical tool, if you want something that just cuts open mean Amazon boxes, this is it too. Great knife from CRKT, and we appreciate CRKT Joel getting Joe here for us. Absolutely appreciate you being a guest.
Oh,
No
thank
doubt.
you. It's my
Jason, you
pleasure.
got anything else?
I don't think so.
Diana, you got any questions? All compliments. They love
Excellent.
it from our guys. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to wrap up. We've got one more set today, and Joel keeps telling us it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Mr. Ken legendary Hall of Fame knife maker
Yep.
Ken Onion will
He's the
be
best.
joining us
We're gonna send
in
Doug to
the
find
next
him.
segment. We'll catch you during that segment next time. Thanks again.
Oh, thank you.